from our day-to-day.
Kita akan coba geser dan
Recording in progress.
Yuk, dah. Ya udah, satu aja, dah, dah. Nih yang mana? Udah, nggak boleh comot begitu, satu aja. Maunya apa aja? Ya Allah.
Dia harus pikirin.
Hello and good morning, everyone. I'm sure you guys are all thrilled and excited for today's workshop, as I've seen that in this column section, which that you guys have been texted about where you guys coming from. So please, if you are thrilled as well with this event, please turn on a video so we can have like a lot of interactions and communications for the day.
Ekran aja nih.
Do I hear anyone from Indonesia Or do I hear anyone from Malaysia? Because I've seen like you guys have been texting that you guys coming from Malaysia, you guys coming from Indonesia, or do I've seen in other countries? Let's see.
Excuse me?
Yeah,
Good morning.
morning.
Yeah, I'm a mixed generation, mixed country, Afghanistan and Indonesia. Just
Wow, that's great. It's so nice to see you.
yeah.
Hope you're enjoying for today's youth empowerment workshop, right?
So inshallah, we will.
And
I'm trying my best.
all right. As what I've mentioned in the comment section, please do not forget to turn on your camera so we can communicate well with each other. And I'm sure you guys are thrilled and excited to see our distinguished speakers. Hi from Philippines. Hi, I'm from Indonesia. Nice to see you all. Wow, we've also hear someone from Pakistan. Hi, Pakistan. Hi, Zoaib. And then someone mentioned, I just got back from Indonesia last week attending my friend wedding. And then my friend wedding ceremony, and I personally loved all the food, but not the traffic in Jakarta. I'm sure we're all kind of like relate for this statement because like the traffic jam in Indonesia has been like quite a problem here, but I'm sure you are all enjoying the food that we have, like all these Indonesian dishes. All right. Do I hear anyone from Thailand? Oh yeah, we have one from Thailand. Good morning, I'm from Thailand. Nice to see you, Amonat. And then we also hear again from Pakistan. Hi, Pakistan. Is it only me or the house is breaking up? Do I hear anyone saying it's breaking up? May someone please confirm to me? Am I breaking up?
Oh, your voice is clear.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Hello, I'm from Afghanistan. Currently, I'm living in Indonesia. Wow, that's really great to see all your excitement. Filipino, currently living in Indonesia. Hi from Papua, Indonesia. Wow, we're all like across the countries, across the Asian countries. Sawadee-ka. Well, someone mentioned Sawadee-ka. Hello, guys. I'm stay in Medan. Wow, it's not just about the beauty and the culture that has been going on into one today, but it's about how we can go together as a youth for young leaders in ASEAN. It's really good to hear that. Pagi, Burmese living in Indonesia. Hi, I'm from Java, Indonesia. Thank you, everyone, for your excitement. All right, as we're about to begin, can I have you guys to type one if you are all excited for today's workshop? I'm waiting for all of your texts, guys. Wow, it's been blasting around here. Everyone is typing 11111. Or right now, type 2 if you are not interested for today's workshop. I don't see anyone who's typing 2. So it means you guys are all excited for today's workshop, right? All right, please, I kindly ask you to turn on your camera to see like all the interactions, and we can just start our workshop today. All right, we shall begin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, young people of ASEAN. Welcome to the first day grand webinar of the Role of Youth in ASEAN 2024. Can I hear some clap? All right, my name is Davina Andari, and it is my honor to be your host for today's Youth Empowerment Workshop. Before we begin, we would like to extend our warmest welcome to our distinguished speakers. Good morning and welcome to His Excellency, Mr. Ilan Askolani as the Project Manager of ASEAN Foundation, His Excellency Mr. Handi Santoso as the Custom and Trade Officer at the ASEAN Secretary, and also not to mention all the participants and attendees of the Roya 2024. And to everyone here today who's still wondering what is Roya, Roya 2024 is a workshop for future young leaders from all countries of ASEAN members. We are here today to discuss and, of course, exchanging ideas with the main themes of youth at the table, empowering decision-making voices. And of course, not to mention, we are all excited to share these expert speakers that promise to be both fascinating and inspiring in each allocated area. And we kindly ask you to stay in the Zoom meeting because the attendance form that will be your requirement for you to get the certificate will be given at the end of our workshop. The agenda for today will be started by the welcoming remarks and video documentation of Indonesia Youth Foundation, expert speaker session that will be assisted by our moderator, question and answer, e-certificate wording for speakers, and the last thing is closing statement. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, next, we will show you a video to introduce the Indonesia Youth Foundation, or IYF, as the organizing committee of Roya 2024. And of course, to show you what we have accomplished so far on the journey of Indonesia Youth Foundation.
Ya Allah.
Setiap hari datang misalkan.
All right, we hear you, everyone, that it seems to be there's like some problems. So please stay tuned for us since we're all working on it right now. Thank you. All right, people, that was like a glimpse of what Indonesia Youth Foundation have accomplished so far. And as we aim to build the sustainable friendship and relationship with all of the countries across the world and make make the world a better place again. All right, so next we will be listening to the welcoming remarks from the Governing Board of Indonesia Youth Foundation, represented by Miss Chelsea Novelia. So please give our warmest welcome for Miss Chelsea Novelia.
All right. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and participants from across the region. As the president representative of the Indonesia Youth Foundation, it is with immense gratitude that I extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you to the Youth Empowerment Workshop, Role of Youth in ASEAN 2024, Team Youth at the Table, Empowering Decision-Making Voices. I am deeply honored to witness the convergence of bright minds and passionate souls gathered here today, united by a common vision to harness the boundless potential of our youth towards shaping the future of Asia. I express heartfelt appreciation to our distinguished speakers, Mr. Ilan Ascolani and Mr. Handy Santoso, whose expertise and insights will undoubtedly ignite inspiration and spark meaningful dialogue throughout our proceedings. To our cherished participants, I commend your dedication to self-improvement and your commitment to becoming catalysts for positive change in our communities. A special word of gratitude goes out to our diligent organizing committee whose tireless efforts have made this event possible. As we embark on this journey of empowerment and enlightenment, let us embrace the opportunities before us, share our insights, and forge connections that transcend borders. Together, let us aspire, innovate, and lead with purpose, knowing that our collective efforts today will shape the destiny of tomorrow. Thank you, and may this workshop be a resounding success, enriching all who partake and radiating positive influence far beyond this walls. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you, Miss Chelsea. Have a great day ahead as well. And as what probably mentioned before, together, let's light up the spirit in collaboration for ASEAN. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving on with our next event, we will observe a report by the project leader of Roya 2024. So please welcome Ms. Yemima Pandang.
Hello everyone. First, I want to make sure, am I audible?
Yep, you're clear and audible. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Hello everyone. I'm so excited. Thank you for all of you who spare your time to join us today. I want to really extend a big thank for participants who are really excited to join us today. And also big thanks for Mr. Chelsea Novelia who is joining us today, and also to our team speakers, Mr. Ilan Ascolani and Mr. Hani Santoso, who will join us later, and also to President of IYF, Mr. Chiptani Akbar Adiat, who is not able to join us today. And special thanks to our hard-working committee members. Thank you all for your hard work to make this event possible. And for all the participants, for everyone who joined us today, let's make the most of this workshop together. And my hope is that we all live here with new insights and understanding and ready to take on the challenges ahead and build a brighter future for our region, especially in ASEAN. So let's dive in, stay focused, and embrace the journey ahead. And welcome everyone, and let's make today count. I want to also encourage you to open your camera because I want to see everyone, but if it's possible for you. So that's all from me, and I give the floor back to Davina. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Miss Yemima. All right, as what she mentioned before, that let's make the most of our workshop today. And also, she also mentioned that she has been looking forward to see all of your beautiful faces. So for those of you who are able to open your camera, please do open your camera. And then let's move forward to the most awaited session for today, that will be the grand webinar from the expert speakers, which will be assisted by Miss Yemima as the moderator herself from Indonesia Youth Foundation. So again, please join me in giving a warm welcome to our moderator for this session as she takes the stage. Welcome, Miss Yemima.
Okay, thank you, Davina. First of all, can the IT team open the PowerPoint presentation because I will give a brief introductory of our speakers. Okay, I can see the presentation now. Okay. Everyone. As we will hear soon the presentation of our speakers. First, I would like to introduce you all to our speakers today, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to today's session. And we are honored to have two distinguished speakers which is Mr. Ilan Askolani, who will be shedding light on the topic overcoming youth disillusionment, strategies for increased engagement in shaping ASEAN's future. And later on, we will hear from Mr. Handi Santoso, who will delve into empowering youth leadership, skills for meaningful participation in decision-making processes within ASEAN. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the brief introductory of our first speaker, which is Mr. Ilan Askolani. As you can see, that he has a bachelor's degree in English literature and linguistics from the University of Indonesia, and a master's degree in education from the University of Groningen, Netherlands. With a diverse background in education and project coordination, his expertise aligns perfectly with today's discussion topic, and his insights promise to be invaluable in understanding and addressing the challenges and opportunities facing our youth within the ASEAN community. And the second speaker, Mr. Handi Santoso. He also has a wealth of experience, having served as a custom and trade officer at the ASEAN Secretariat, implementing projects like the ASEAN Customs Integration with funding from Japan ASEAN Integration Fund. He also co-directed the ASEAN Youth Economic Forum 2023, funded by the Japanese government. And he also holds a bachelor degree in international relations from the University of Brawijaya in Indonesia, and a master's degree in international political economy from the University of Warwick, UK, funded by the British government's Chevening Scholarship. Okay, so let me see if Mr. Handi Santoso and Mr. Ilan Askolani have joined us.
Yes, I'm here already. Yamima, it's Ilan.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. Ilan Askolani, for joining us today. I really appreciate your contribution to our event today. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Ilan Askolani.
Okay. Thank you, Yamima, and yeah, thank you, Yamima, for the introduction, and thank you, the organizing committee of this event, the Indonesia Youth Foundation, for inviting me to be part of this event and to share my presentations on youth disillusionment and the strategies to address this youth disillusionment. Okay, so maybe the organizing committee can stop sharing the screen because I will be sharing my screen. Yeah, thank you. Okay, can everyone see my slides?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so yeah, so I think I will be sharing with you about this topic. Yeah, this is topic that the Indonesia Youth Foundation gave to me, yeah, to share with you all. Okay, so my name is Ilan Askolani, everyone, and I am the Senior Program Manager from the ASEAN Foundations. Currently, I have been assigned to oversee all programs at the ASEAN Foundation that fall under the thematic areas of education, environment, uh, business engagement, and media. So what I would like to present to you in the next 20 to 30 minutes is what youth disillusionment is, yeah, and what are currently happening in Southeast Asia, which are relevant to the factors that contribute to youth disillusionment. And then I will also be sharing about what are actually the ways or the strategies that youth can do to address and deal with this youth disillusionment. And at the end of my presentations, I also be sharing a little bit about what the ASEAN Foundation is and what are the programs that we are doing that you can utilize, that you can explore to improve your skills. And I believe this program is also a part of the strategies to address youth disillusionment. So those are basically the topics, yeah, the specific topics that I'll be sharing in the next 20 to 30 minutes. Okay. Now, so what is actually youth disillusionment? And there are so many definitions of youth disillusionment. And I just take one definition here from the World Economic Forum, which defines youth disillusionment as the disengagement, lack of confidence, and or loss of trust among the younger generations with existing global economic, political, and social structures. So I think I emphasize the three important terms which are relevant to youth disillusionments, disengagement, yeah. So meaning that youth are not keen, yeah, to engage in any activities, yeah. For example, a lack of confidence, meaning that youth are not confident, yeah, about their skills, about their capability because of internal or external factors, which later I'll be explaining. And the third term is loss of trust among the younger generation, meaning that these young people are not trusting, anyone or any system. Yeah, again, because of the contributing factors. So this is a bit, yeah, this is one of the definitions that I can share with you regarding youth disillusionment. And based on the information that I have been able to collect, this phenomenon, yeah, the youth disillusionment is, dramatically increasing, after since the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic. And based on that information, 80% of young people said that they experience, yeah, the symptoms of disillusionments, which include anxiety, depressions, and apathy. And of course, this youth disillusionments does not occur independently. It's caused by some contributing factors such as lack of job opportunities, deteriorating mental health conditions, climate crisis, violence, and many other social disruptions. And is it I mean, is it a major issue? Is the youth disillusionment a major issue to be addressed immediately? Yes, because if it's not addressed immediately, then there will be some adverse impacts, yeah, that the adverse impacts for the youth themselves, but also for their surroundings. Yeah, for example, for their families, for their neighbors, for their communities, as well as the nation where the youth are living. So yeah, because of these adverse impacts of youth disillusionment, I think strategies and relevant approaches are needed, yeah, to solve and address this problem. Sorry, okay, I think I have an issue with my PowerPoint presentation slide, so let me stop sharing and I'll be re-sharing my screen. Apologize for this technical issue. Okay, so now I'm going to share with you about youth disillusionment in Southeast Asia. I mean, some of the current situations, some of the current happenings in Southeast Asia that contribute to youth disillusionment. And I think I've mentioned earlier that lack of job opportunities is one of these contributing factors. And so, I mean, despite the economic growth that the ASEAN region is experiencing, of course, lack of job opportunities is still a major issue that remains unsolved. Yeah, so that's why this is one of the contributing factors that affect, yeah, that cause youth disillusionment in Southeast Asia. And based on the World Economic Forum survey that is recently conducted, there is a skill gap among youth in ASEAN, meaning that the skills that young people have after graduating from their universities are not matched, are not aligned with the with the needs that the companies or the employers are looking for. And based on this survey, 52% of ASEAN youth feel that they need to continuously upgrade skills for job competitiveness. And then another fact from this survey is that 5.7% of ASEAN youth said that they have job loss due to technological displacement. Okay, maybe I also want to share another report, another evidence, another facts from the joint survey conducted by the ASEAN Foundations with Plan International and Google.org. So based on this survey, it said that 55.4% youth in ASEAN don't have basic digital skills. Yeah, and this survey also indicates that basic digital skills are the most important skills to be improved, to be sharpened among youth in the ASEAN region. And then 72% of young people lack of advanced digital skills. So based on this, the result of these reports, this means that there is a major homework from relevant stakeholders, yeah, especially the governments, in terms of providing relevant skills for young people across certain ASEAN countries, and also providing job opportunities. But I think the main point that need to be addressed is the mismatch between the skills that the graduate have and the skills that the companies are looking for. So I think that's the major homework, by the government and any other relevant stakeholders. Okay, and yeah, another phenomenon that contribute to youth disillusionment that is also happening in Southeast Asia is mental health and well-being. And according to WHO, 1 in 7 youth in ASEAN live with mental health conditions, and 90% of them are not receiving proper treatment and care. And in Southeast Asia, mental health stigma is still widespread, yeah, meaning that people with mental health problems need to have care and treatment in official institutions, in mental health institutions, psychiatric hospitals and asylums. So they think that these are the places that need to provide treatments and care to people with mental health problems. But I think the issue is not there. The issue is that when people with mental health conditions, they need to be embraced. Yeah, they need to be provided the same opportunity. So the community around them must be supporting them but sometimes, and not sometimes, but very often, people around them are discriminating them. Yeah, so they think that, these kind of people need to get treatment from mental health institutions. Yeah, but actually, the community around them can help them, can support them. So I think that's something that people around them need to consider in order for them to be able to to address, yeah, their mental health problem. But fortunately, things are changing. Yeah. So through the active engagements and empowerment of people with life experience and caregivers, this kind of stigma is decreasing. Yeah. Years by years. So I think thanks to the active engagements and empowerment of people. Yeah. So I think the programs that can provide opportunities for um, uh, people empowerment, yeah, in terms of how to deal with people with mental health condition is very important. So this kind of programs need to be implemented more and more, so that the ASEAN region is able to cope and to address with mental health and well-being problem. And the other uh, yeah, the other phenomena that is also happening in Southeast Asia is the political instability, and it's also contributing to youth disillusionment. Of course, we many of you are aware of what's happening in one of the ASEAN countries, that the political situation is still stable despite the commitment and the initiatives that the government from the non-ASEAN countries have been doing, yeah, to solve the problem. But still, the problem is still there. And yeah, maybe you are also aware of the fact that the war between Russia and Ukraine, as well as Palestine and Israel. So these kind of situations are affecting and are causing youth disillusionment as well. So the next question is, do the government from the 10 ASEAN countries I mean, have the government from the 10 ASEAN countries done something, yeah, already done something to to deal with and address this youth disillusionments? The answer is yes, even though of course there are still rooms for improvement, but I believe, and in my perspective, the government from the 10 ASEAN countries have done some efforts, yeah, and shown their commitments to resolve this youth disillusionment. So I just want to share with you about the some of the ASEAN priorities which are relevant to resolving youth disillusionment. One of them is the ASEAN Work Plan on Youth and ASEAN Work Plan on Education, 2021-2025. So if you look at these work plans, yeah, if you look at these documents, there are some priorities that focus on education, yeah, focus on education. So meaning that the ASEAN region is trying to strengthen youth participation in ASEAN regional platform. And the government from the 10 ASEAN countries is also trying to provide lifelong learning to young people across the 10 ASEAN countries. So it's not only providing relevant hard skills and soft skills, but also lifelong learning. So which is the skills that they need throughout their whole life, yeah, to face any challenges, any obstacles in their entire life. So I think this is one of the commitment from the 10 ASEAN countries regarding resolving youth disillusionment. And the other important priority that is included in the ASEAN Work Plan on Youth and Education is the concern, yeah, in health and well-being of young people. So the ASEAN government is trying to provide youth with necessary information, knowledge, and skills, so that they are aware of their physical health and mental health, and they are also aware of yeah, how to find any solutions if they are experiencing these kind of mental health. So that's what the government is trying to do. You have to provide relevant skills, knowledge, and platforms for young people across the ASEAN countries to be aware of this mental health problem and how they are able to cope with this when they are experiencing problem. And also another important milestone from the ASEAN Work Plan on Youth and Education is the emphasis on empowerment. Yeah, employment and opportunity. So the government from the 10 ASEAN countries are trying to provide as many opportunities as possible. Yeah, upskilling and reskilling opportunities for young people to be able to upgrade their skills so that they will be able to get empowered, yeah, to improve their skills so that they, in the end, they will be able to get their jobs easily. And lastly, the last milestone that I need to share with you regarding the ASEAN Work Plan on Youth and Work Plan on Education is the participation and engagement. So the government from the 10 ASEAN countries are providing as many platforms as possible so that youth are able to do as many volunteering activities as possible as part of their engagement to yeah to contribute to society, to contribute to the development and building of the community. So that's one. And then the government through the support from the ASEAN Secretariat is also issuing the ASEAN Youth Development Index 1 and 2. So this is the document that outlines this is the document that outlines the issues that young people from the 10 ASEAN countries are having at this moment. And this information can be the reference for the 10 ASEAN countries to do relevant actions, yeah, in their respective countries to solve the youth-related issues in their respective countries. And there is also so many programs that engage youth. For example, the first ASEAN Youth Dialogue, the EU ASEAN Young Leaders Forum, the ASEAN Australia Youth Mental Health Fellowship. So these are the programs and the projects that the government from the 10 ASEAN countries, in partnership with the international organizations, are implementing, to engage young people across the 10 ASEAN countries. And also, I think when the Indonesia was chairing ASEAN in one of the ASEAN summit, I think the ASEAN leaders set up the meeting with the representatives from young people. So young people were able to communicate and discuss directly with the leaders from the ASEAN countries during that ASEAN summit. So yeah, young people are able to express their voices, express their concerns, yeah, and yeah, their concerns are heard by the leaders of the 10 ASEAN countries. So again, the government from the 10 ASEAN countries is getting more concerns and aware of the importance of young people's engagement in decision making in resolving the socio-economic issues in ASEAN. Now, what can youth do to overcome this illusionment? So I will be sharing three strategies. Yeah, I understand that the first and the two strategies are not my expertise, but I think I need to share these strategies because it's relevant, yeah, to the topic that I am presenting now. So I think the first thing that you can do to so when you feel that you get disillusioned, I think one of the things that you can do is to validate your emotions. Yeah, meaning that you have to embrace, you have to accept that kind of emotions. You have to accept that disillusionment. Yeah, meaning that it's okay to get disillusioned. Yeah, it's okay to have disillusionment because it's a part of your growth. Yeah, it's a part of your improvement. Okay, so you have to embrace it. You have to accept it. Yeah, so that's the first thing that you need to do. Yeah, and then if you also need to accept that disillusionment is not a bad thing. Yeah, it's not something bad. It's a common thing. It's something that other people are also experiencing. Yeah, okay, but of course you must not stop there. You have to try to find support from others. Yeah, if possible, you find support from professionals. Yeah, if you think that this is too difficult, for example, because it's expensive to get support from professional, then I think you can also get support from someone that you trust, someone that is close to you. Yeah, for example, your parents, yeah, your friend, your teacher, your mentor. So try to get support from them. Yeah. And ask them to listen lah, to listen to your problem. Yeah. I think by doing that, then you will be able to, yeah, to accept, yeah, your feeling down, yeah, your disillusionment. So I think that's one. I think the second thing that you can do is that you need to understand that this problem is not only your own problem, but this is the problem that other people are also experiencing and encountering. So you are not alone in this world, yeah. But other people are also experiencing this thing, yeah. I think you need to focus on what you cannot control, yeah. You cannot control the climate change. You cannot control the war between the Ukraine and Russia, yeah, but focus on what you can control. Yeah, maybe instead of being stressed and anxious about the difficulties in getting jobs, yeah, try to maybe try to talk to someone that is also having the same problem as you, that is having the same problem in getting a jobs. Yeah, I think that's kind of actions will help you, yeah, to reduce, yeah, your level of anxiety. Yeah, you can also discuss with your family. Maybe they can provide support lah. So I think that's the second thing that you can do. And the third thing is that instead of doing nothing, when you get disillusioned, I think you need to turn disillusionment into action, into something meaningful and impactful lah. So you have to find opportunities by exploring, yeah, local organizations aligned with your interests and empowering yourself and others to make a meaningful impact. I think there are so many opportunities out there, many activities that are organized by by any organizations that you can utilize to be part of their programs, to contribute to others, yeah, to help others to improve their lives, yeah, to contribute to community. So I think that's the other thing that you can do. And I think by involving in this kind of activities, you will see that, hey, other problems are also having the same problem. Yeah. So I believe it will improve your sense of empathy and sympathy. Yeah. But of course, when you are doing volunteering activities, there are some elements of soft skills that you can improve. Yeah. For example, communication skills, yeah, talking to people, working in a team. So these are the benefits that you also will get, yeah, from involving in these volunteering activities. So I think that's the third strategy that you can do, yeah, to overcome disillusionment. And yeah, maybe I just want to share with you about what the ASEAN Foundation is doing in terms of empowering youth, which are also relevant to overcoming youth disillusionment. But before I share with you these several opportunities, these several programs, allow me to share with you about the ASEAN Foundation itself. So the ASEAN Foundation was founded on 15 December 1997 by the leaders of the 10 ASEAN countries. And we are actually an intergovernmental organization and an ASEAN body governed by the ASEAN Charter. And we are reporting to the 10 ambassadors of the 10 ASEAN member states, to ASEAN, and the Secretary General of ASEAN as our board of trustees. And our vision is to build a cohesive and prosperous ASEAN community. And our mission is to commit to promoting ASEAN awareness through people-to-people interactions and collaboration with ASEAN stakeholders to build a caring, cohesive, equitable, inclusive, and peaceful ASEAN community. And since its establishment in 1997, the ASEAN Foundation has successfully managed initiatives in the 10 ASEAN countries to realize its primary mandates, promoting ASEAN awareness, increasing people-to-people connections, and improving the of ASEAN people's life. And our programs are falling under 6 thematic areas: education, media, arts and culture, community building, environment, and business engagement. And our projects and programs are ranging from trainings, workshops, scholarships, grants, regional forums and meetings, until publicity and promotion. Now, this is one of the programs that I would like to share with you that you can explore and participate, yeah, which is the ASEAN Data Science Explorers program. So this is regional data analytics program targeting young people across 10 ASEAN countries. And in this program, you will be able to, get data analytics skills to improve your data analytics skills, but also 21st century skills, yeah. You can participate in the training sessions and data analytics training session as well as in the competition. I think the benefits of this program is that not only being able to improve your data analytics skills and 21st century skills, but you will also be able to to broaden your networks with students from other nine ASEAN countries. You will also be able to understand the current issues in ASEAN because you will be required to choose one issue in ASEAN and how you are able to solve this issue. So I think another benefit is that you will get familiar with the issues in ASEAN. You will be able to improve your empathy because you are trying to solve the issue in ASEAN. Yeah, I believe that will also improve your sense of empathy. And yeah, you will also be familiar with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So I think this is one of the programs that you can explore. And for your information, this program is currently open. I mean, registration is open. So if anyone here is interested in the program, you can sign up and register to this competition. And the other program that I would like to share with you is the Empowering Youth Across ASEAN. So this is so basically in this program, young people are provided the opportunity to do development projects. Yeah, so they will be able to implement community projects that help community in one specific ASEAN country, and they will be doing a collaborative projects with young people from the other ASEAN countries. Yeah, of course, before implementing the projects, you will be given the opportunity to improve your project management skills, communication skills. So yeah, the other relevant skills that you can use to implement the community projects. And I think the other benefits is that you are able to improve your communication skills, working in a team skills. So these are some of the relevant skills that you are able to get from participating in this program. And the last program that I would like to share with you is Seeds for the Future. This is our program with Huawei. I think in this program you will be getting the opportunity to join the training programs provided by Huawei. So you will be able to learn about the advanced technological products by Huawei, like cybersecurity, data science, and then artificial intelligence. And if you are further selected, you will also be able to fly to China to join their a global event. And in that event, you will also be able to build networks from not only with the students from the ASEAN countries, but also students from the Asia Pacific region. So I think those are the three programs that we have at the ASEAN Foundation that you can explore to improve to improve your skills, to reskill and upskill yourself. There are also other programs that I cannot mention here, but we are open for you to visit our website to get further information about what the ASEAN Foundation is doing. Okay, so I think I'll stop here. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to respond to your question. Thank you.
Thank you so much for Mr. Ilan Askolani for your enlightening speech. Your insights on overcoming youth disillusionment and strategies for increased engagement in shaping ASEAN's future were truly inspiring. We appreciate your valuable contribution to today's session. Everyone, if you have any question, can you please note your questions because we will have later on Q&A sessions after our second speaker delivers his speech. Thank you so much, Mr. Ilan Askolani, for your insight. This is really great because we also see what he told me about what can youth do to overcome disillusionment, especially this validate your emotion and understand that you're not alone, because sometimes as a youth, we all relate to these problems like lack of everything, like we feel like we cannot do anything, anxiety all over the world. I mean, the pressure that we have right now, it's really, really big, something for many of us might be. So this insight is really good, like validate your emotion. Yeah, sometimes we cannot validate our emotions because we feel like we don't deserve to be happy or whatever it is. So I hope everyone can learn from this session and everyone can gain insight from what Mr. Ilan Askolani has told us. As we move to our second speaker, we have Mr. Handi Santoso, who will deliver his presentation.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Mr. Handi Santoso is joining us now. Thank you for your present. So, Mr. Handi Santoso will deliver the topic about empowering youth leadership and meaningful participation in decision-making processes within ASEAN. Okay, let's give Mr. Hani Santoso the floor. Everyone who have the question, please note your question because we will have later Q&A session with both of our speakers. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for having me this morning. It's been a very great opportunity to share, to be invited to the Youth Empowerment Workshop with the theme of Role of Youth in ASEAN 2024. And in this session, I was requested to deliver a theme of empowering youth leadership and the skills for meaningful youth participation in decision-making process within ASEAN. So if you can go to the next slide, please. By the way, just let me know if you cannot really hear my voice, but I hope you can hear me okay. So before I start, a little bit background about myself. Currently, I'm working at the ASEAN Secretariat as a Customs and Trade Officer since 2022 to present time. And before that, I actually was involved in youth empowerment related activities since 2019. So it's been roughly 4 to 5 years up until now. But uh, I think 4 years. But in the recent year, in the past year, I was not very much involved in youth related activities because of my current job. Um, so the latest youth empowerment activities I was involved in is in 2023 when I was appointed director of the ASEAN Youth Economic Forum in 2023, funded by the government of Japan. That time, by their Ministry of Industry and Economy, Trade and Industry, which I will explain further a bit in my presentation later on. And then I graduated from my master's degree in international political economy from the University of Warwick in the United Kingdom, funded by the Children's Scholarship. And in a previous in my previous professional work, I worked for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Indonesia. Ministry of Economic Affairs of Indonesia as the International Relations Officer. And the three below are some of my previous involvement in the youth related sector. I was the project development director of the ASEAN Youth Organization, a non-profit youth organization in Southeast Asia from 2019 to 2021. And another project I was leading on was the project of the ASEAN Youth Digital Forum, the AYDF. I initiated that project in 2021 during COVID-19. And I was also the project leader for youth and environmental webinar for under the European Union Climate Diplomacy Week in collaboration with the ASEAN Youth Organization. So if you can go to the next slide, please. Can I have the next slide, please? Yes, thank you. So what will be with what will I will be discussing today? So I'll cover some of the topics related to youth disillusionment and what is it? What is it really? I think it's been covered earlier by the previous speaker, but I'll just touch upon on it quickly and then to see the youth disillusionment narrative and then why it is a top global risk in the current times and the factors and challenges for youth disillusionment, and then what are the strategies that ASEAN already has in place to address this topic, and then empowering youth leadership for enhancing youth participation, which I'll be sharing some of my experiences to address this issue through my effort as a part of the civil society organization, and then the skills. What are the necessary skills for you for meaningful youth participation? Um, so you know there are a lot of talking about youth disillusionment out there. There are a lot of top, concepts or definitions about this um, that terminology. But here I am taking a straightforward definition from the World Economic Forum Global Risk Report in its 16th edition in 2021, defining youth disillusionment as a disengagement and lack of confidence or loss of trust of young people towards the existing economic and also political social structures at a global scale. But how do we know if youth are disengaged? So, can we move to the next slide, please? Yeah. So, according to Geraldo Bertin, the past president of international programs of Freedom House, the world's young people are increasingly disengaged from political life, and but do we know when do we know and how do we know when it is real actually happening? So disengaged from political life means that young people are disengaged from decision making process. For instance, youth are voting less in the in a political party in a political election and so on, shown by the low political electoral participation, for example. And young people are underrepresented in politics because not many of them want to be involved in political environment. And if we think about how many young people are actually active in practical politics, I don't know if you are from Indonesia, if you're from the Philippines, maybe you can try to reflect and then do your own research to find out how many actually young people actually engage in practical politics. Be in the parliament, be in the political party, and so on. And then young people are apathy to what's going on in their countries, and they don't really pay much attention about the political situation or any policy decisions made by by their leader or government. Even though it's actually affecting their life and their future. In short, I can say that they don't really care about what's going on. In a in every aspect of their policy in their country. So considering these factors I've mentioned, in this slide, um, my question is, should be alerted by this phenomena of youth disillusionment. Can I have the next slide, please? Yeah. If you can see here, there's a graph from the World Economic Forum Global Risk Report. After the COVID-19 pandemic, the World Economic Forum reported that the world is facing the second global crisis in a decade, which is also considered a temporary disruption. So among these top global risks, you see that youth disillusionment is among the top 10. I think it's ranked 8. Um, and it can actually, become a critical threat for the society. But how does youth disillusionment negatively impacted our society? Uh, and here's how. At the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, 80% of young people worldwide are very vulnerable to some issues like depression, anxiety, and also disillusionment, among others. And this makes them the targets or easy prey for radicalization. For example, And moreover, the disillusionment of young people during the pandemic also heavily impacted young women. For instance, they need to carry out houseworks or other duties such as taking care of their younger siblings instead of attending school or doing online learning and so on. So this phenomena actually during the COVID-19 pandemic has contributed to gender role disparity in our society, and I think it's happening worldwide as well. Um, and as I mentioned in the previous slide, that is the disengagement of young people from politics pushes them away from political activities, decision-making processes, and so on. And this creates youth in politics to be underrepresented. And what's dangerous is that when youth is underrepresented in politics, it is difficult to accommodate the interest of young people and to really facilitate what they really need, through the policy decisions made by the government. So in the long term, it will be dangerous for democracy because, if you think about underrepresentation of women in parliaments or in politics, it would also be difficult to accommodate the interest of women because nobody would care to, would dare or care to talk about it or raise the issue in the parliaments because mostly many political leaders they're not very concerned about the issues faced by the by the minority group in our society. And according to Matthew Burrows of the U.S. Agency for International Development's Bureau for Policy Planning and Learning, youth disengagement from politics will negatively impact democratic life of a country, as it will affect low youth participation in politics because they are simply treated unfairly by not being heard or of their voices or even their voices are not being considered in the decision making process. So when young people are being apathy, we need to think carefully of who will continue to pass the baton of leadership in the future. Um, so we have discussed why young people, the disillusionment of young people is dangerous to the society. However, what is really the factors contributing to the phenomenon of this youth disillusionment? Let's find out in my next slide, please. So here are some factors for youth disillusionment in policymaking processes. And according to the research by the Freedom House, one of the key factors that contribute to the youth disillusionment from policymaking processes is largely driven by the perceptions of economic exclusion. For instance, I pointed out three examples of economic exclusions faced by young people worldwide, which is the widening economic disparity, high and youth unemployment, and the lack of access to education and knowledge. And as a result of being economically excluded, because when you are poor, when you don't have access to education, you will also feel excluded from the system itself because you cannot really follow through and receive your rights as a citizen. So if we can go to the next slide. Yeah, as we noticed earlier that economic exclusion is one of the main causes for youth disillusionment. However, other research also found that there are some other factors actually that contribute to making youth being disillusioned, such as climate crisis or any environmental problems, political instability of a country, wars, and injustice, among others. And of course, this caused the problems of mistrust and dissatisfaction, as I highlighted in the title here in the slide of my presentation. And when young people perceive their government has failed them, it is likely that they would withdraw or try to avoid any engagement with the government. In this case, I'm talking about the engagement in the policy decision making process. And in this presentation, when I prepared this presentation, I found some interesting research from several global surveys. And the first one here is from the UN Global Survey in 2021. It found that young people are skeptical that their voices, actually heard by the government, and then many young people feel excluded from important government decisions that affect their life and their future. And in the survey, 76 respondents under 30 years old perceive that the politicians do not listen to the voices of the youth. And moreover, the second survey from the OECD, in the OECD countries on building trust to reinforce democracy in 2021 showed that among young people aged 18 to 29, 63% of them say that they do not trust to their national government, and only 37 of them say that they actually trust their national government. Um, in another survey, world survey among 10,000 youth, more than 83% or more than 8,300 young people perceive that their government actually has failed to protect their future and to fulfill their needs, contributing to the problem of youth disillusionment itself that I have covered in my previous slides. And last but not least, another recent look at youth disillusionment in the political processes comes from the Global Sharper annual survey. Um, it is the survey explored how young people see the world and what they really want to do about its shortcomings. And then from 31,000 respondents from 180 countries, 60% of them answered no when asked if their views are actually considered when important decisions are made. So, 60% of the respondents actually perceive that they never being considered or being invited or being involved when the governments are making important decisions that can actually affect their life and also their future at the future generations. So, what can actually we learn about the surveys? These surveys, in my view, indicated that the correlation between the lack of trust and dissatisfaction of young people to policymakers with the low levels of youth participation in politics and in public policy making. So, sorry, this suggests that in a country where the young people trust their government, it is likely that the youth participation in public policy making is higher. But it's also happening the other way around, as shown by this survey. So, how can policymakers actually boost the trust of young people to encourage those young people to make them engage in policymaking? And what are actually the possible strategies to address the issue of youth disillusionment? So, next slide, please. Can I have the next slide, please? Yeah, thank you. So, in the ASEAN context, to address youth disillusionment issue and to engage more participation and engagement of young people, ASEAN has adopted the Work Plan on Youth 2021 to 2025. So this work plan actually was developed by ASEAN as the ASEAN is aware that the region needs to pay greater attention and to mobilize more strategic investment on youth development programs in order to enable youth engagement for preparing the region to face the ever-changing world, such as the pandemic, for example, the real cases that we can take a look as an example. So consisting of five priority areas, as you can see here: education, health and well-being, ASEAN awareness, participation and engagement, employment and opportunity. The work plan seeks to address various issues and concerns affected the young people and to expand opportunities for the youth. So if you in this slide actually and in the next slide as well, I would focus my presentation on in talking about one of the priority sectors here, which is the participation and engagement. So can I have the next slide, please? Yeah. So through the priority area on participation and engagement, ASEAN actually aimed to enable youth to develop the 21st century skills and contribute to community development by actively participating in the policy discourse, volunteering activities, as well as creating innovative solutions towards achieving the ASEAN Community Vision of 2025 and also the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals through physical and also online platforms. Um, in this objective, ASEAN attempts to increase the number uh, of participation of young people in volunteering and leadership programs or activities, and also ASEAN Youth to participate to lead some projects in their respective communities that can actually contribute to the development of their communities and to enable ASEAN young people to contribute to ASEAN's community building efforts. And from these objectives, ASEAN created various work programs and projects to be implemented to enable achieving the targeted outcomes. For example, I'm not sure if you have seen, many posts, I think, going around on social media on youth opportunity, social media platform on Instagram, for example. Uh, there are some ASEAN projects that have been implemented since during the COVID and after post-COVID. For instance, young exchange dialogues, recognition of youth achievements. I think if you've seen the ASEAN Prize, it is one of the key activities being implemented to support this initiative. And funded youth-led projects, engagement of youth with high-level leaders. For example, youth was invited to some policy dialogues with the policymakers to discuss about some important issues and then to brainstorm about what are possible solutions and then to gather their aspirations and to deliver it to the ASEAN government leaders for their considerations that can be heard or possibly considered as the ASEAN policies, which I believe it's been for myself. I've been involved in some of those activities since the past 4 years. So, can I have the next slide, please? Yes. Following the ASEAN strategy to enhance youth participation in policymaking, here I'd like to talk about empowering youth leadership for enhancing youth participation. So, what are the ways that we can do as an individual or as a part of social activist group, NGO, or civil society organization to empower young people leadership and to help them develop their skills that are necessary for engaging in policymaking? So the first one is, as you can see here in my presentation, holding seminars, workshops, or training activities to educate young people about the policy issues that currently are the focus by the government, enhancing access to information for vital youth participation, such as through social media platform, and then bringing and engaging youth in schools or universities in policy-related forums. Using the fourth one is using social media platform to engage young people and gather their voices. I think this one actually really works in my experience in the past. When we gather what youth would like to discuss with the government leaders, for example, and then when the representative actually going to meet the government leaders, so those voices can be compiled and also be extended to the government leaders. And the fifth is engaging youth to service in or to participate in organizations at the community level, national, or even regional level. And the last but not least is organizing stakeholder forums to discuss proposed policies. If you go to the next slide, please. So here are some of my contributions to enhance youth participation. Actually, these are just some of the examples. From the right hand side, above here is the when I co-directing the ASEAN Youth Economic Forum in 2023, funded by the government of Japan. That time we conducted a public forum where we gather, more than 200 and until 300 youths, young people in Jakarta, and to meet to enable them to meet the experts and also policymakers in the area of environment and also economy to discuss about the sustainable to discuss about the sustainable economy and also to discuss also about the circular economy, which is one of the priority sectors or areas in ASEAN. Following the public forum, we've selected 20 delegates from ASEAN and Japan to involve in a series of policy making process. So at the end of the section, all the delegates, the selected 20 delegates were expected to come up with policy recommendations after they discussed about the issue around circular economy, what are the, priority area of ASEAN, what are the issues that needs to be addressed and how to implement the circular economic policy in ASEAN and also Japan. And then finally, they presented their policy recommendations after 3 days of discussion to the ASEAN representative in the ASEAN Secretariat. However, unfortunately, I don't really have the picture when they presented the policy recommendations to the ASEAN leaders. And on the left-hand side was the ASEAN Youth Digital Forum. This forum I initiated in 2021 to actually address the issue of uh, digital literacy and also digital skills that young ASEAN youth need to be aware of in order to prepare themselves to be future ready when they enter the workforce. And then on the left hand side was the webinar I had with the European Union during the Climate Diplomacy Week. And then the three pictures below from the middle to the right hand side is when I initiated the Impact Lives project to help. This is actually more on community grassroots level of project. So I initiated this project to help those who were in need during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 to help them to meet their daily demands to fulfill their lives and to feed their families because there were so many unfortunate people who cannot have access to foods or even difficult to gain money to have money because they were dependent on daily incomes. And I think if we refer to my previous slides that to empower youth participation and also youth leadership by holding a seminar or training or workshop, I believe this effort is also what the Indonesia Youth Forum is doing right now to invite young people from across Southeast Asia. Not only Indonesia, because I see some people from Myanmar previously and also from the Philippines. This kind of efforts is actually to raise the awareness of young people and then to make you aware that some issues are going on and then to prepare you to have the sufficient knowledge and at least learn something from the speaker's presentation, something that you can actually implement in your daily aspect of your social life. So going on to my last slide in my presentation. So based on my practical experience in contributing to enhancing youth participation in policymaking processes, and it is supported actually by the OECD development policy tools. Here are some of the skills that required to create meaningful participation in decision making process. So the first one is political literacy, and this includes basic concepts, basic understanding of democracy concepts, awareness of our rights and obligations as citizens, understanding of our role as individual interest groups or political party in a country, knowledge about how to influence policy development, and then the second skill is democratic attitudes and values, including respect for other people, responsibility, accepting diversity, and also ability to resolve conflicts, and most importantly, skills for advocacy. This is, I think, the last point is very important for you to have because if you have the skills to for advocacy, it will actually be easier for you to address a certain issue that you would like to resolve in the future. And the last one is critical thinking, which is the ability to collect information, interpret, and analyze them. Which I think in critical thinking, you're not only, it's not only about analyzing or interpreting informations that you have collected, but it also includes how you can actually communicate. So it involves your communication skills for political discussion. So you can actually expand your ideas to the leaders in your country or in a bigger scope, and the ability also to take positions based on your critical assessment of an issue. I think other than these three skills that I've mentioned, actually I have one more addition of the necessary skill the young people need to possess to be able to engage in decision making process, but I did not forgot to include in this presentation, which is resilience. So, what does resilience mean? So, it simply means that you don't give up and try again if you failed. Because sometimes when we involve in a youth forum, for instance, trying to advocate certain issues, and then we create policy recommendations for our government leaders to address those issues. Sometimes from what I learned is that our ideas um, might not always be heard or considered or adopted at the first time that we try. But it is something important that you have in mind for you to accept and do not give up when that process happens. Because uh, actually, when those experiences happen, you can consider that as a precious learning experience for you to develop further your skills and knowledge throughout the process. So in the future, when you join again for another youth forum, you can actually formulate better recommendations in the future that can actually be heard by the government of your country, or the regional, or maybe the global leaders. So the next slide. Yeah, I think that is all the presentation that I'd like to share with you today. I hope that you can learn or gain something from what I have shared this morning. And if you have any queries, don't hesitate to email me, or feel free to connect on LinkedIn or on Instagram. And here I put my quote when preparing this presentation. In my view, everyone can influence positive change through their own ways. So be you, be active, and then be able to contribute to the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hani Santoso, for your enlightening presentation. Your insights into empowering youth leadership and meaningful participation in decision-making processes within ASEAN were both informative and inspiring. We truly appreciate your valuable contribution to today's discussion, as I also can relate to what Mr. Hani Santoso have taught us and mentioning about the creating policy paper and so on, because we also here youth in Germany, we develop policy paper to be handed out to policy maker, and since we handed out our policy paper, we feel like it doesn't change anything. So, but this experience has been really great for me to engage in decision-making processes, but do not feel demotivated if you experience the same. But as we also learned from Mr. Hani Santoso about the necessary skills in order to participate in decision-making processes, we learn by time. So now let us move and open the floor for questions and answer. If you have any questions for either Mr. Ilan Askolani or Mr. Hani Santoso, please feel free to raise your hand or type your question in the chat, and we will address them accordingly. As we also have many questions on the chat box, I will address one by one the question. So first we have the question from Ahmad Naufal Rahyan, and this question is for Mr. Ilan Askolani, and I will just read the question. Maybe this is about how teenagers deal with their disappointment, and what has been explained is that we can chat with parents and people closest to us, but not many of those things they think are just trivial things and don't take them seriously, but instead push them into a corner. So what should you do as a teenager? For Mr. Ilan Askalani, the floor is yours.
So the question is about what should we as teenagers do if they deal with their disappointment and chat with parents people close to us, but not many of these things they think are just trivial things and don't take them seriously, but instead push them to a corner. Yes, I think yeah, I think this is as I explained in one of my slides, there
Is it just me that has an issue? Or okay, me as well. Okay. Maybe it is technical problems. Okay. I think he encounters technical problems here, but no worries. We can move on the next question. I think from Fikri Muhammad Reza, this question is assigned to Mr. Hani Santoso. Given the non-interventionist nature of ASEAN and the diverse governmental forms of its member states, which may limit political commentary, how can ASEAN effectively ensure the safety and security of its youth population, a factor that is vital for their empowerment and active participation? For Mr. Handi Santoso, the floor is yours.
All right, thanks, Yamima. I think it's a very interesting question because, as Fikri Muhammad Reza mentioned that ASEAN is in nature is non-interventionist, and you cannot actually um, provide direct intervention or interfere to other countries' policies or something that they're doing. But actually, if the question is how can ASEAN effectively ensure the safety and security of its youth population, I think it's been stated clearly in the ASEAN Work Plan on Youth 2021-2024 that I mentioned earlier, that ASEAN is doing its best to actually accommodate and to empower its young people, young generation, to be able to be the best version of themselves through various through various work programs and also projects specifically addressed for young people. So, but if it's come when it comes to safety and security matters, I think it's a different issue, and it's based on the each party or each member state's situation. So there's nothing can be done about it because, as stated in the question as well, that ASEAN is non-interference, in its nature. So, but I think if I can refer, I can share the file of the ASEAN Work Plan on Youth, and then there you can see and then you can explore how ASEAN is really doing its best. And I think some of the projects have been implemented since 2021. And next year is 2025. I think if you break down and every one of them, you will see that most of the projects has been delivered for ASEAN young people. So I think that is my answer to the question from Victor. Thank you, Emima.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Handi Santoso, for your answer. For Fikri, is it clear or do you still have any question?
Thank you so much for the answer, Mr. Handi. It is extremely understandable. And I understand that, I mean, the ASEAN, we cannot really intervene in other states, but yeah, I guess we just need to find a way to, to aspire our political talks without, without really, yeah, like challenging the status quo. Thank you so much, Mr. Handi, and thank you so much, Ms. Shemima, for the accommodation.
Thank you, Fikri. As Mr. Ilan Askalani has joined us again, I will give the floor to Mr. Ilan Askalani to answer the previous question. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, my apologies for being disconnected from this session. I think for your information, I'm not really expert in mental health, but I think but at least I shared some of the approaches that youth can do when they are facing mental health problems. So one of them is by validating their emotions, yeah, getting support from relevant persons. And yeah, I think as I mentioned earlier, there is still stigma in Southeast Asia. So most of the people think that teenagers or people with mental health problems must be treated in medical care institutions or hospitals, but that's actually not the you know the best approach to address this problem. I think the best approach is that people around these people, I mean people with around these people with mental health problems must be supportive. So for example, their parents, their neighbors, and um, and it's still a big homework, for Southeast Asia, for the ASEAN region, because stigma is still there, and some people with people with mental health problems are discriminated. So the stigma is still there, but again, it's our responsibility. I believe it's not only the responsibility of the government, but it's our own responsibility as well. So if we feel that, I mean, we are as educated people, right? So if we found people with mental health problems, I think what we can do is that we support them. Yeah, at least we talk to them, we listen to them. So I think that's the simplest and easiest thing that we can do, to support them. Yeah. Of course, we cannot count on society, because this is something that we cannot control, right? So I think we need to focus on what we can control, what we can support. So I believe all of us are educated, right? So, I mean, if we have our friends that are having mental health problems, I think we need to support them. We need to express our empathy. We need to show our support. We need to listen to them. So I think that's something that we can do. So I hope that's answering your question.
Hi, everyone. If I can share my 2 cents on what Mr. Ilan Ascolani has mentioned about the issue, because it's very interesting, that about this question. I think it's the issue that young people are facing right now. Would it be okay?
Yeah, sure, please.
Thanks, Yamima. So I think adding to what Mr. Ilan Ascolani has mentioned, that it is the responsibility of of the youth itself, and the responsibility of the family to provide support and so on. But I think I would like to say it from another point of view. That the issue of mental health, actually it is something that can be advocated. For example, during my time when I surfaced the ASEAN Youth Organization, we also put some focus on mental health problems. And then, so what we can do as a civil society organization is that we raise the awareness about the mental health issue itself. We invite young people who are concerned on the issue, who have interest in that topic, and then we also invite not only young people, but we also invite the policymakers, so they can all actually hear what young people need, what are the concerns of young people. So I think advocacy and raising of awareness of the issue is something that can be done by I mean, a U.S. individual can do that. Have the ability to do that as well. You can raise awareness of mental health if you're concerned about it, but it would create bigger impacts. I think if you actually can address it as a, I think Indonesia Youth Forum can also, be a platform for addressing something like that to raise the awareness of the mental health problem. So everyone can understand. You can invite experts to explain further about it, and then it by that you have the understanding of what you need to do when you meet when you face some issue on mental health, and then by that by raising more awareness to young people, and then you will have the basic knowledge on how to deal with the issue, and then not only that, you can also advocate to other audience, and then hopefully it is reaching the family, who supposedly provide support to the person concerned. So I think that is my point on advocacy and also awareness raising of the mental health problems and other problems as well.
Okay, maybe
Thank you.
additional
Oh,
information from me. I think this idea just comes to my mind. I think if we refer to the ASEAN Work Plan on Youth 2021-2025, one of the priorities is health and well-being. Yeah, so that's the commitment of the government from the 10 ASEAN countries to address the issue of mental health problem. So in that work plan, it's mentioned that the government from the 10 ASEAN countries is trying to provide a platform for young people and any other groups of population in ASEAN to get knowledge, information, and platform for them to understand about mental health, mental health problem. What are the causes? What are the effects, and how they can do simple things here to support people with mental health problems. So I think this commitment has been included in the ASEAN Work Plan on Youth 2021 on 2025. So basically, the commitment is there. But I mean, of course, in terms of the implementation, we are still trying to see if this commitment is implemented already or not. But I think in one of my slides, I shared one of the programs that is implemented previously regarding the mental health issue. So I think the program has been implemented, but maybe it's not as massive as we expected. So I think that's my additional response to the question.
thank you so much for Mr. Ilan Escalante and Mr. Hani Santoso for the answers. And now as I see here, several people have raised their hands. I think I will give the floor to Raiden Yap from Indonesia to give his question. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for the opportunity, for allowing me to experience this and get more insight from both speakers. So this question is for Mr. Hani Santoso. If Mr. Ascolani, if you have any input, please feel free to add on. So having been involved in initiatives like the European Union Policy Partnership and the Economic Forum run by Japan, how different are the approaches to regional cooperation between like Europe, other non-Asian countries, and to the ASEAN region? And are there any specific strategies employed in these countries that could be applied to ASEAN that would, make our efforts more efficient or create better policymaking?
Right. Thanks for the question. It's actually very intriguing question. Very interesting to hear from young people like Raiden. And thanks for the question, by the way. But my answer to that is that of course the two parties have different approach to ASEAN. Um, but in terms of topics, I would say that I think the approach by the European Union, they cover. This is based on my experience. Yeah, this does not reflect the situation that's happening with ASEAN people who work with ASEAN in other sectors. But from my experience, I think the European Union's approach, they touch they also touch upon non-traditional issues like climate change when it comes to the cooperation with ASEAN. They also touch upon gender issues when it comes to for example, when you approach ASEAN when they approach ASEAN for a community projects, for example. That's why one of the projects I've handled in the past was with the EU was related to not only economy but or other traditional issues, but it also touches upon non-traditional topics such as the environment and also the gender issue. So and also the approach by the EU, I think they really make sure they really try to ensure that gender balance is in place when we implement their projects. For example, when I implemented the European Union Climate Diplomacy Week workshop, we were tasked to ensure that the participation of men and women are equal or but yeah, at the end we've managed to meet the expectations and even we exceeded that as I remember the participation of young women was much more than young men in that project. So yeah, I think that is the kind of different approach that Japan and ASEAN sorry, Japan and European Union is doing when approaching the region. But I think for the participation of Japan in ASEAN, they I think they still touch upon on traditional issues like economic cooperation. That's why when I handle the ASEAN Economic Forum, it is actually their demand to touch upon the issue around the economic cooperation between ASEAN and Japan. But then, as the co-director for the ASEAN Economic Forum, I discussed with my team that I think we need to support other we need to touch upon other issues as well. That's why we come to not only economy but we also cover the environmental topics. That's why we discussed about the one of the most important issues in 2023, which is circular economy. That was one of the priority economic deliverables, if I'm not mistaken, of 2023 of ASEAN. But yeah, again, each of the dialogue partners have different approach to ASEAN, but it is what ASEAN can learn to be implemented is, I think, starting to focus much more on people, investing in people, like both as EU and ASEAN did with us in that context with ASEAN Youth Organization. They both invest in people, so I think ASEAN needs to also start thinking about investing more in youth development, and I think ensuring gender balance in um, in the participation of any ASEAN events need to be also taken into account, but not taken into account as tokenism only, but it needs to be taken into account seriously to ensure that women have the same opportunity as men. So I think that is what I can provide to answer the question from Raiden. Thanks, Yamima.
Okay, thank you for Mr. Andi Santoso for the answer and to write
Yamima,
in
can I add
that.
on?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, maybe I just want to share some information related to Raiden's question from the perspective of the ASEAN Foundation. Yeah. I think maybe I can share with you what the ASEAN Foundation is doing with ZIZ. I know it's not it's not representing EU, but I think it's representing Europe, yeah, because GIZ is representing Germany. And once the ASEAN Foundation is doing a program that is focusing on supporting the social enterprises across the 10 ASEAN regions. So one of the German's government's priorities in ASEAN is helping social enterprises in the 10 ASEAN region to grow. So that's why they are coming to us, they talk to us, and we do a program that is helping social enterprises to improve their operation management, access to market. So yeah, so supporting social enterprises is one of their priorities. And I also yeah, got the informations that one of the other priorities is also renewable energy. So I know that some of the other organizations are also implementing non-renewable energy oriented programs with ZIZ. So those are some of the priorities, in terms of the cooperation within ASEAN and ZIZ. And for the Japan, I think at the ASEAN Foundation, we are going to implement a program that is called the ASEAN Foundation Model ASEAN Meetings plus Japan. So this is this program is actually helping young people across the 10 ASEAN region to you know to be able to to be able to be a diplomats lah. So they are able to create concept papers. They are able to simulate the ASEAN meetings, come up with the concept papers and share these concept papers or recommendations with the relevant stakeholders. So there is an element of youth empowerment there. So yeah, I think that's the things that may be relevant to your question, Raiden.
Thank you for both Mr. Ilana Skalan and Mr. Handi Santoso for addressing the question of Raiden Yap. And for Raiden Yap, is there any other questions or does the answer clear it?
No, yeah, thank you so much from the both of you. It's honestly really insightful to hear like what Mr. Ascolani said. Like Indonesia itself, from which is where I'm from, we have a lot of small business potential, and of course, the youth are caring a lot more about climate diplomacy. So I'm really, really glad that I can hear this support and affirmation from the both of you. If I have any follow-up questions, I'll be sure to connect with you. And of course, thank you so much for your time once again.
Thank you so much for the question, Raiden Yap. And then we move to we have here Sanaullah Baburi, if I'm not mistaken to pronounce it. If you have any question to both of the speakers, of one of them, the floor is yours.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As a citizen of Afghanistan, I have a question. I have a few questions. The first question, let me ask, in this Asian youth community, organization or community, they only focus on Southeast country like Malaysia and Indonesian, Brunei, Myanmar, Brunei, or Singapore student, or they focus, it's generally for all Asian students, this organization, they provide the facility, conference, education facility, and so on. And the other, my second question is, I'm really interesting as a Middle East student teenager, I'm really interesting to be part of ASEAN Youth Forum. But how can I be the member of the ASEAN Youth Conference? If you illustrate this issue with more details, it would be so grateful because I'm so hesitant about this issue. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your questions, Sanaullah Baburi. For Mr. Ilana Skolani or Mr. Hani Santoso, I give you the floor.
Okay, Mr. Handi, do you want me to start first?
Sure, go ahead, please, Mr. Ilan.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Waalaikumsalam, Sanaullah Baburi. Thank you for your question. I think your first question is asking if all of the ASEAN Foundation programs are dedicated to youth from the 10 ASEAN countries, correct?
Yeah, of course, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, unfortunately, the answer is yes, Sanaullah Baburi, because I think we need to go to the ASEAN Foundation mandate itself, because we are trying to promote ASEAN awareness. So it's targeting young people and ASEAN citizens from the 10 ASEAN countries. But I think we also have. I think what I can share with you is that, our partner, our private sector partner is also doing, for example, Huawei is also doing education program that is targeting young people across Asia Pacific region. And I think you can also participate in that program. Yeah, because what the ASEAN Foundation doing is we are targeting young people across the 10 ASEAN countries. So we are not able to target non-ASEAN countries. Yeah, so I think what I would suggest is that I think there are so many opportunities out there that you can explore, yeah, and participate that the ASEAN Foundation is not doing. Yeah, I think I have given one example, which is the program by Huawei. It's targeting young people across Asia Pacific. And in that program, you will be able to learn about the current technologies of Huawei, in terms of artificial intelligence, data analytics, data science, cybersecurity. So I think that's one thing that you can explore and participate. And but the ASEAN Foundation is also welcoming any non-ASEAN partners, yeah, such as our dialogue partners like Japan, China, and South Korea to work with us. And if we are doing the program with them, yeah, with Japan, South Korea, and China, then we are also targeting young people from these countries. Unfortunately, at this moment, we don't have any program in partnership with the government from Pakistan, Sanaullah, but I think, yeah, you can search for any opportunities out there. I believe you can find the one that suits you the most and, yeah, suitable for you lah. I think that's my response to your question, Sanaullah.
Terima kasih Mr.
Sama-sama.
Ella. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ila Askolani. Mr. Hadi Santoso, do you want to add on the answer?
Yeah. All right. Sure. Thanks, Demima. And thanks, Sanallah, for the question. Actually, when I hear the question from the young people here, I would like to position myself not as someone from ASEAN Secretariat, but rather because in the ASEAN Secretariat, I work for customs and trade topics, not youth-related topics. But so I would prefer my answer to be captured as someone who have interest in the youth empowerment sector. So yeah, answering to your question, actually, when I was when I was still active in the ASEAN Youth Organization, we've created many projects and programs, more than 500 until now. And those projects are actually welcome for the participation of young people from across the world because I understand that the ASEAN Foundation has mandate to service the interests of the 10 ASEAN member states, as Mr. Ilan explained earlier. But for the ASEAN Youth Organization, because we are non-government institution and we don't have specific mandate to serve in the interest only for other member states. So what we expect is that we want to provide, we want to create impacts as much as possible. So that's why we open most of our programs to people, to young people across the globe. So, for example, when we have the European Union Climate Diplomacy Week, we open also the participation to other youth from the Europe, from Latin America. Even we have participants from Chile, Brazil, and also other countries as well in Europe. So I think if you're looking for the platform for you to learn and to be involved in the youth empowerment youth empowerment activities, you can try to search. I think I already shared in the chat box. the Instagram of the ASEAN organization. I'm no longer an active member, but I'm happy to connect you with the members of the ASEAN organization if you're interested. Um, and I think another information I'd like to share is that we also have some team members outside ASEAN. We have the ASEAN Youth Organization chapter in India. So uh, they, I have some colleagues as well who are from India. So I think if you're looking for a platform to connect, I think the ASEAN Youth Organization can be something that you can consider. Um, and then, can I ask you again? What is the second question? Sorry, I just remember the first one. My apologies. Or if Yamima can remind me of the second question.
I think the second question is how he can involve in ASEAN youth
Ah,
community.
okay. I think yes, thanks, Yamima. I think for that, how can you involve is that by searching, using the facilities that are around you. You can use the internet. Especially I think for ASEAN, we can use Instagram or Facebook to find those opportunities out there. So what you need to do, my suggestion is to just be active to search those opportunities. And another one is I think the most effective is LinkedIn because all the information, many information are posted on LinkedIn. So just be sure that you search on the right using the right keywords that you'd like to that's is that is sufficient with your interest. I think that would be my question, my answer to that question. Thanks.
Okay, thank you for the answer, Mr. Ilan Askalan and Mr. Hani Santoso. I just want to mention that we have limited time for this session, and I will just address two more questions.
Thank you so much. Both of your answer was so satisfiable, grateful. I got at many things that before I was unaware about that. I was really hesitating. Thank you so much. Terima kasih, Bapak.
Thank you, Zanallah, for your question. And I think I will address the question from Ayesa Meha. It is from the chat box. He said that the question is for Mr. Ilan. In Pakistan, mostly the youth is focusing on starting up their own business instead of doing job anywhere, due to which they skip their education process and move towards the business side. Is it okay to skip education? Because the youth is not getting a job even after getting enough education, due to which they are unable to earn properly. I think this is a really important question, so I want the speakers to address this issue. I mean, to address this question. The floor is yours.
Okay, yeah, this is a very hard question, but I will be trying to respond to that question. Okay, I think can I clarify that what you mean by education here is formal education or any
I think Mr. Ilanas Kolani is having technical trouble again, and if Mr. Hani Santoso want to add on that, the floor is yours.
Oh, sorry. What? I think I pressed something unintentionally. So yeah, I think since Mr. Ilan is disconnected, I guess. So the question is it okay to skip education? Actually, we are all human and we're guaranteed by the human rights declaration that we can choose whatever we want to do as long as it is responsible, right? Um, but from my point of view, this might be different than yours, but this is just my sense of the coins. Of this is just my 2 cents on this question. Um, I came from a family with low education background, so my my goal is to actually uh, to achieve education as high as possible. So my advice would be, uh, you know, if you cannot really find suitable job after you already completed your education in your country, maybe you can seek opportunity out there. Like, I mean, you can. I've seen. I have many friends from Pakistan back when I was in the UK, and I was very good friends with them. And then I think the point that was mentioned in the chat box is related to what my friend shared from Pakistan to me. That's why uh, many Pakistanis seek opportunity out there, just like in other countries. Many people go migrate and then seek for better opportunity. Um, but yeah, if my again, I would like to reiterate that through education, in my experience, you can not only find knowledge, but you can also find perspective, because you will have different perspective than the people who are not in uh, who are not having the opportunity to go to school. And that's very important as well when you want to start a business. It is good that you start since early age, for example, because there are a lot of people out there who are successful in their business without going to school, right? But I think there are also people out there who are smart, who are educated, who have different mindset than those people who have not the opportunity to go to school, but they have successful business. So I think if you can have both, why not, right? So I think, yeah, education is of course very important to me. So that's why in my view, don't skip school. But later, if you have completed your education, you know you can start your business or something like that, or go for better opportunity out there. If there's limited opportunity in your country, but I think I believe Mr. Ilan already connected here, so hopefully he can answer that question best, or better than my.
Okay, sorry, sorry for being disconnected again, yeah, but I'm back. Yeah, thank you, Miss Andy, for the response. Yeah, I think we need to define what education here is, because from my perspective, we can get education from anywhere, right? So not only from the school, but I think education is all around us. We can get education from our friends, we can get education from our mentors. So yeah, I mean, education must not be limited to schools. So I mean, um, what I would like to highlight is that education is important, um, but again, education can be obtained everywhere. So not only from the schools. So what I would like to highlight is that it's very important for everyone to get education. Yeah, but not only education from the schools, but education from anywhere. Yeah. So for example, if you are not going to school, but you are able to, for example, participate in capacity building programs. Yeah, because you have, for example, entrepreneurial skills. I think then go for it. Yeah. So that's I think my suggestion, because education is important. Education will help you to have broader perspective. And even when you are doing your own business, you still need education, because sometimes you cannot you know run your own business alone. You need support from others. Yeah, you need support from mentors. So for example, if you want to grow your business, sometimes the owners of the business stuck. Yeah, they are not able to grow their business, so that's why they need support from others. So that's why education is still important. But what I mean by education here is the education that can help you to face any challenges, any obstacles in your entire life. So it's not simply a formal education, but education in general. So I think that would be my response to your question.
Yeah, thank you so much for answering my question. And thank you, Mr. Elan. Thank you, Mr. Handy, for answering my question. That's enough for me.
Yeah, thank you, Ayesha, for the question.
Thank you for the question and also thank you for the answer. As I think we won't be able to hear any more questions, but if you guys still have any question, you can also write us on our email and then we will address the questions. We will send it to the speakers and the speaker will provide you the answers and we will send it back to you. I'm really sorry. This is really engaging. I think there will be a lot of questions, but as we have a limited time here, I apologize for not being able to accommodate all of your questions. Yeah, thank you so much for Mr. Ilana Skolan and Mr. Handi Santoso for the very insightful presentation and also to answering all the questions that the participants have here. We really appreciate your contribution to our event today, and we hope that the insights that you but give to us can make us and empower us to take a few further step in order to be implemented in our society, especially also in ASEAN. Thank you so much, and I will give the floor back to our Master of Ceremony, Javina. The floor is yours.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Yemima, for moderating the expert speaker session. Guys, it's really wonderful experience. Personally speaking, it's really a wonderful experience to have witnessed how exciting you guys are for all of these sessions. Especially, we're deeply sorry and we sincerely apologize because we cannot accommodate all of the questions. But I'm sure Mr. Ilan and Mr. Andia are all looking forward to hear a lot of things from all of you. And as we gain our knowledge in overcoming youth disillusionment and empowering youth leadership, the Committee of Roya 2024 will hand over the e-certificate to our distinguished speakers who have given us some remarkable insights today. And we also would like to thank you to our speakers, Mr. Ilan and Mr. Handi, for their valuable contributions for Asians. And the certificate of appreciation will be given by the project leader of Roya 2024 herself. That goes to Ms. Yemima. Welcome back, Ms. Yemima. So the place is yours.
Thank you so much, Davina, for the opportunities. We will give the certificate to Mr. Ilan Askolan and Mr. Handi Santoso as the speakers of this event. Yeah, thank you so much for the share screen. Yeah, before we conclude today's sessions, I would like to express our gratitude to our esteemed speakers, Mr. Ilan Askolani and Mr. Handi Santoso, for their valuable contributions. Your expertise and insights have enlightened us all and enriched our understanding of the important topics discussed today. As a token of our appreciation, I am pleased to present Mr. Ilan Askolani with certificates of appreciation for their outstanding presentation and contribution to our workshop. Your dedication to empowering youth and shaping the future of ASEAN is truly commendable. Once again, thank you for sharing your knowledge and expertise with us. Everyone, let's give a round of applause to our speaker, Mr. Ilan Askolani. Thank you so much for Mr. Ilan Askolani for being able to be our speaker today. Next, we will give our certificate of appreciation to Mr. Handi Santoso. IT team, could you please change the slide? Just a moment, please.
Sorry, Kak Yemima. I think we shall have like a group pictures after this, right?
Oh, sure. Thank you for reminding me. I forgot that part.
It's okay. So we have like the group pictures for probably Mr. Ilan and you yourself together with the certificate, or we should just like gather it all in once?
We can also, I think we can do as you said before. Okay, IT team, could we please back to the previous certificate because we will have
Documentation,
what?
right?
Yeah, because we forgot that part. I am really sorry. Okay, thank you. I didn't could you please take a pictures of this?
All right, I guess it's my comment then. Wait, on count from 1, 2, 3. All right. Wait. Okay. I think I have to pin Mr. Ilan first. Yep. All right. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Ilan.
Thank you, Davina. Okay, let's move. We will give a certificate of appreciation for Mr. Handi Santoso for participating as a speaker at the Youth Empowerment Workshop Role of Youth in ASEAN 2024 with the themes Youth at the Table Empowering Decision Making Voices, organized by Indonesia Youth Foundation. Thank you for Mr. Ilan. As a token of our appreciation, I am pleased to present Mr. Handi Santoso with certificate of appreciation for his outstanding presentation and contribution to our workshop. Your dedication to empower youth and shaping the future of ASEAN is truly commendable. Once again, thank you for sharing your knowledge and expertise with us. Let's give a round of applause to our speaker, I am really sorry, Mr. Handi Santoso. And we will not forget the photo session now.
Yes, we won't forget. So please, the team ID, could you please re-share screen, the certificate of appreciation? All right, here we go. On my comment, I guess. On count 1, 2, 3, Mr. Handi. 1, 2, 3. All right. Wait, 1, 2. Wait a second. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much, Kaya Mima and Mr. Handi. Is there anything that you guys would like to add?
I think it's from me, but if Mr. Handi Santos and Mr. Dylan Ascolani want to say something for today's workshop, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I think I can start if it is okay with Mr. Ilan.
Yeah, go ahead. Mr. Randy.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Ilan. So I'd just like to say thanks to the organizer of this, the Indonesia Youth Foundation, for organizing today's workshop, which is very interesting and also very engaging. It's been more than 1 year actually since the last time I was involved in youth empowerment activity. But it's very great that it's very refreshing my energy again to be around you guys with the active participation, and I'm happy also to answer all the questions. But if you do have further questions, don't hesitate to let me know through my email. You can ask the committee if or I can type in the chat box later on if you have any further questions. But again, I hope that the session, the presentation I shared with you can be insightful. That can be found insightful, and also can be beneficial to raise your awareness about the issue on a difficult topic, youth disillusionment. But yeah, again, I look forward to meeting you in the future. Thanks.
Okay, I think for me, first, I just would like to thank everyone for your participation in the last, I think, 2 hours. And thank you for the hard and challenging questions. And yeah, I think yeah, I look forward to your participation in the programs that the ASEAN Foundation is doing at this moment. So yeah, feel free to visit our websites, and please feel free to subscribe to our social media platforms, because updates on our programs are available there. And yeah, I hope I can see some of you and many of you in persons in the ASEAN Foundation's program. So yeah, I look forward to your your contributions to the community development. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hande and Mr. Ilan. Of course, we're all looking forward to see you again soon in the future. And of course, throughout like the contributions and the collaboration between youth and the government itself, we hope that we could really engage to many more beautiful things coming ahead for the better things for our generation and for the world itself. All right, so as we have embarked to this wonderful and meaningful conversations, I guess we shall have a group pictures, shall we? Let's have a group pictures, I guess. So for those of you, I'm still looking and I'm still waiting for to see your beautiful faces around. So please do open up your camera because we will be having a group photo session, of course, with our distinguished speakers, Mr. Handi and Mr. Ilan. Okay, I'm still waiting. There you go, Mr. Hilan. Mr. Handi, I mean, has sent for like the descriptions on the text. If you have any more questions, do let me know. That's really great. Thank you, Mr. Handi. All right, shall we have to screenshot it right now? All right, on count from 1, 2, 3, the first slide. Once again, 1, 2, 3. Wait a second. All right, moving forward to the next slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. And thank you very much, Mr. Handi and Mr. Ilan. It's really an honor for us to have you in our meeting for the Roya 2024. Thank you so much. Let's say goodbye to Mr. Ilan and Mr. Handi.
Okay, thank you everyone. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you so much, Mr. Ilan and Mr. Handi, for your
Thank you.
contribution today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
All right.
you.
But everyone, for like the attendees, please wait because we still have a lot of things going on after this. We have some information to give you. So tomorrow, we will have a focus group discussion session. There are 120 selected participants out of 325 participants who are able to join the focus group discussion. It is obviously a fantastic opportunity to share your insights and perspective on important topics. And you'll be divided into 6 groups by the given topics. And then after the discussion, each group will present their results and feedback will be provided by the speaker. The topic also will be sent to each group through the platform provided by us. And we will also send you the topic right after the session ends. While not everyone has been selected for tomorrow's session, your interest and enthusiasm are truly appreciated. Your commitment to being a part of this process is commendable, and we encourage you to stay engaged and continue contributing your ideas and, of course, your perspective. Your involvement matters, and there will be more opportunities to come ahead to participate and make a difference. So keep up the good work. And also, do not forget to fulfill in the attendance form in order for you to get your certificate. So make sure you don't miss out the second day of Roya, which will be fixating on focus group discussion at 10 a.m. Central Indonesian time. And lastly, on behalf of Roya and the organizing committee from Indonesia Youth Foundation, we thank you for attending the grand webinar of the role of youth in ASEAN 2024. I am Davina Andrei Putri signing off. Thank you and good evening, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Hi everyone, thank you for
Thank
joining us
you.
today. It's really good for having you
Bye.
here. Thank you so much. And we apologize for not being able to accommodate all your questions. Thank you.
Thanks a
Thank
lot,
you so
everyone.
much. Thank you, Davina.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm filling the attendance form, but when I
Yeah.
want to insert the screenshot, it says that my screenshot is 1 MB exceed of the thing. Can you do something
It's
about it?
okay. It's okay. Then you can just hover the form. It's
Uh-huh.
fine. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Wow.
Sorry, can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
About the tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a group discussion. All of us we can attend it or a group discussion, or just you select a few students for a group discussion. Let me know that.
Fortunately, not all of you will be joining the session tomorrow because we have selected 120 participants out of 325 participants because we won't be able to accommodate all of you. Therefore, we selected 120 participants to be able to join the session tomorrow. And for everyone who haven't selected, we also have sent out email. So for everyone who are not selected to join us tomorrow, I'm really sorry for that. And but you can have the video or you can watch our live streaming tomorrow on YouTube. And looking forward to your contribution next time. And don't forget to keep. Oh, sorry. Yeah, and don't forget to connect with us through our Instagram at Indonesian Youth Foundation because we will have a lot of workshops like this, and also we will be having Bali International Student Festival soon. So yeah,
Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
thank you everyone. You may leave the meeting.